Sayonara MIna-san. Welcome to another chapter of this channel. Today we're going to be treating something different. We're taking a mathematics topic titled angles. So I'm going to start just afresh before I go to the question that was posted to me from someone. First of all, I'm going to define an angle. An angle is formed by the intersection of two lines. It is space between two lines. Whether the lines cross each other completely or whether they just met at their edges, well, basically saying the same thing. So these two things are joined here are angles. They are the spaces formed from the intersection of two lines. Now, when you start to learn about angles, you know there are 5 basic angles. Now, I drew 3 of them here. First of all, we have what we call the acute angle. The acute angle is an angle that is greater than 0, but it is less than 90 degrees. The acute angle is greater than 0, but less than 90 degrees. That is drawn like this. We have a right angle triangle. The right angle is an angle that is exactly 90 degrees. Next, we have the obtuse angle. An obtuse angle is an angle that is greater than 90 degrees, but it is less than 180 degrees. So let's say the obtuse angle starts from 90 point something to 179 point something. It's greater than 90 degrees, but it is less than 180 degrees. Next, we have the two remaining angles. We have the angle on a straight line and the reflex angle. The angle on a straight line, as it says, is an angle on a straight line. A straight line has an angle of exactly 180 degrees. Then we have the reflex angle. The reflex angle is an angle that is greater than 180 degrees, but it is less than 360 degrees. 360 degrees is the angle formed at a point, or you can say it's an angle of a circle. So the reflex angle is just a little bit greater than 180 degrees. So you can say it's from 180 point something degrees to 359 point something degrees. Reflex angle is greater than 180 degrees, but it is excuse me, but it is less than 360 degrees. Now, there's all these kind of angles that when you learn the basic ones, there are these angles that are formed by parallel lines. The angles that are formed by parallel lines, I like to call them parallel line angles. So I've drawn something like that here. So we have what we call, the first one I'm going to go with is what we call the corresponding angles. The corresponding angles are angles that they are aligned at exactly the same place in the parallel line. Let me draw these arrows here to show it's parallel. Sorry, I'm using my cell phone, my Android phone to do this. So my drawings are a bit awful for now. I will hopefully do more on the system during the holidays when I'm back at home. So, going back to the corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are angles that are formed at exactly the same point. Now what do I mean by that? Let's look at this angle here and then look at this here. We notice that these two angles are formed at the top of the intersection where this line met with this, or where this line here met with this other line. The top of it is where this angle is, and this one also where this line met with this other line, the top of it. So these two, 1 and 2, are both corresponding angles. We also have like here and here. They are also corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are angles that are formed at exactly the same points in a parallel line, or parallel line that has been intersected by another line. So next we're going to look at another kind of line formed by parallel lines. We have what we call the alternate lines, alternate angles. The alternate angles are angles that are alternate to each other. I'm going to just draw it here instead. They usually form a Z shape or a Z shape. That's how I easily identify them when I was learning them in 7th grade. We're taught that they are angles that form a Z shape. We have here and here. Angles that are formed like that are called alternate angles. We have a Z like so. We see that this is actually a Z, 1, 2, 3, which means that here and here are alternate angles. Alternate angles are angles that are alternate to each other. When you notice them or you see them, they usually form a Z shape. Next, we're going to look at another kind of angle which we call the vertically opposite angles. As the name implies, they are vertically opposite, or you can say they are directly opposite. These are angles that are directly opposite to each other. That's an angle here and an angle here. This angle is exactly the same with this angle in a parallel line. And in a parallel intersection like this, we have that these angles are the same, which means here and here, here and here, here and here, even here and here, over here and here. They are all parallel, vertically opposite angles. We can say that this place and this place, the blue go for our corresponding angles. Here and here are what we call the corresponding angles. And then I'm going with a Z shape. I'm going to use here and here to represent a Z shape for the alternate. Now that we know what all these angles are, I'm going to use it to solve a question, the question that was given to me. I actually just wanted to do a brief up on the types of angles so that we can actually know the angles and know what they imply with the question that I'm going to give. This is the question. I actually saw it, someone had asked it online, but it hadn't been treated, surprisingly. So I thought, why not I just solve it and help the person out? So the question says solve for x, but I'm going to solve for both x and y, so you can use that as a medium to use all the types of angles we just learned about now. So let's start by solving for x. The only places where we can find x are this portion of x plus 20 and x plus 10. So I did find x. So let me draw that out. Let me make my pen black again. We have something like this. This region here is x plus 20. And the next one is x plus 10 degrees. Now, we want to find out what x is by looking at this question. Now, what type of angle is formed between these two sides, these two intersections? Now, let me just show you something. If I can clean this off, you actually see that this is an angle on a straight line. So we know that the angle formed by x plus 20 and x plus 10 is actually angle on a straight line. And an angle on the straight line is 180 degrees, which basically means that we're going to go with the fact that x plus 20 let's put that in parentheses, plus x plus 10 in another parenthesis is actually equal to 180 degrees. So let's bring out them out of the brackets. We're going to have that x plus 20 plus another x plus 20 plus x plus 10, sorry, x plus 10 equals 180 degrees. So if we collect our like terms, collecting of like terms, putting that similar terms, you put them at the same at different sides, put the alphabets in one corner, and we're going to put the numbers at another side. We're going to have that x plus x, since they are both alphabets, is equal to 180 minus 10 minus 20. The reason why this 10 and 20 turn to minus signs because when the number or figure goes over the equal to sign, they change their symbol from plus to minus, from minus to plus. So since we had it as plus, it becomes minus. So that means our answer is going to be x plus x. Since they are the same thing, we have 2x equals, we have 180 minus 10 minus 20. You can do that on the paper or punch a calculator. We're going to have that 150. So we have 2x is equals 150. Divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which is 2. So divide both sides by 2. The 2 cancels this, 2 cancels 2. 2 into 150. We're going to have 7, bring 1 here, that's 5, which means our x is actually 75 degrees. Great, we solved that one. So which means if our x is 75 degrees, let's look at this. It means that x plus 20, same thing as saying 75 plus 20, which means that this angle here is 75 plus 20. Punch calculator, solve it on your book. We have 95 degrees for this angle here. And if we look at this side here, x plus 10, which means 75 plus 10, which means here is 85. Now put it in your calculators and check it out. I'm going to type 9 here. We have 95 plus 85 gives us 180 degrees. So we have solved for x successfully. X is equals 75 degrees. So I'm going to look for y now. We want to look for y. I'm going to draw another shape to show how y is, so I don't write on this. I want to put the answers here. So we have the diagram looking something like this. We have that this section here is y, but this section that is here is y minus 40. I'm just drawing half of the diagram. The plot that has only y. We have here at y minus 40. So we can't say this is vertically opposite because here and here is no way to get it from there. We can't say it's corresponding angles either, but we can't make it corresponding angles. What do I mean like that? Look at this angle over here. This y on top of here, this y up here, is in a straight line angle, which means that everything here is equals to 180 degrees, which means that this spot over here plus y is going to give me 180 degrees. But we don't know what this place is. So let's say this place is 180 minus y. I mean, this 180 minus this part here is going to give us this part remaining here, which means this place is 180 minus y. And this finally gives us corresponding angles. Remember what I said earlier? Corresponding angles are two angles that occupy the same place by the intersection of the line. So up and up of the lines, which means they are both equal. If that's the case, then we can easily write our equation as the first part showing 118 minus y is equals y minus 40. Alright, so let's collect like terms again. The alphabets go to one side, the letters go to another side. So we have 118 plus 40. Remember to change your sign when they cross over the equal to gives us y plus another y. So 180 plus 40 is actually 222. So we have that 220, sorry, is equals to 2y. So we have 220 equals 2y. So let's put down there 220 is equals 2y. Divide both sides by 2. We have 2 cancels 2. 2 here 1. We go out 2 here 1. 2 here another 1. And the 0, which means that our y is equals 110 degrees. So we've gotten that, means that this place here is actually 100. Let me put this line to it. This is actually 110 minus 40, which gives us 70 degrees. This angle here is a 70-degree angle, and this angle here is 110, since it's just plain y. So let's write here that our y equals 110 degrees. So to actually solve this question, um, we use the complementary angle, we use our angle on the straight line, we also use our angle on the straight line, and complementary angle. These are basically the two things we use. So I'm going to give you guys an assignment to go with. I hope you will like it. I'm going to give 2 questions, post it in the comment section about the reason why the angles are like how they are, what they mean also. Okay, so I want you guys to find this angle up here. I'm going to name it A, and I want you to find this angle here and name it B. So you're going to find angles A and angles B. That way you can, so I'm going to give you guys a hint. We're going to use the other 2 angles that we learned on the angles for parallel lines. If you can remember, the 2 angles we learned for angles in the parallel line, you'll be able to find angle A and angle B. So I hope you enjoyed this class. Hope you understood. If you need have any questions, post it in the comment section, put it on my email. Any other questions ranging from math, physics, and any other side, feel free to put it down. Thank you for listening. Please click on that subscribe button and have a great day, and I hope you understood a bit more about angles. Thank you.